So in other words, they want to reduce the population of Igbos in Lagos.
If we thought not to reduce the population, to make them to be afraid, to realize that Lagos is not Nnewi, Lagos is not Aba, Lagos is not Enugu, Lagos is not Onitsha, Lagos is not Omahia, Lagos is not Owerri.
Okay, on 20th and 30th of this month, I'll be promoted for Igbomustgo, in Lagos. Do you think that the Igbos should come out for their business on this set date? Do you not think this is risky? And although someone has come out to tell the Yorubas and the Lagosians that they should unite with Igbos, do you think this is coming from his mind? Do you think this is something that's come?
You see, whenever you see a bird, I am Mr. Paradeni Okokonde, this is the Republic of Biafra, live by Mazin Namdekalo and his IPOB government of Biafra. Father Yahweh, I thank you for everything you have done to every mankind, for your goodness, your favor upon them, the life you give them. Father, be praised, be magnified in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Do you see? You see one thing. Whenever you see a bird dancing by the roadside, what is beating the drum or beating the music for that bird is behind the forest. That bird cannot be dancing that dance without something beating it for him. All these people are coming to say, Igbos must surely leave Lagos. They are coming to demonstrate for Igbos to leave Lagos. They are not doing it because they want to do it. They are not doing it because they are happy to do it. But they have bought over by some certain elites from Lagos State. This is why I ask question. Why is it only Lagos Igbos must surely leave? Now, if you come in the other hand, look at it again. It had a political motive. This Igbo must surely go. It started during the campaign of 2023 election. And after the election, it became worse. When they discover that Peter beat Tinubu in Lagos State. And if you look at it now, it seems that the political motivation on it is they are afraid of 2027 election.
So in other words now, if they are afraid, are you trying to say that they are already working as regards 2027?
2027. So that what happened in 2023 will not happen in 2027. Because it is a surprise thing to every party, even to Labour, themselves, that they beat APC in Lagos State, stronghold of APC, all over Nigeria. Lagos State is bedrock of APC.
In other words, so they want to shock. So in other words, they want to reduce the population of Igbos in Lagos.
If we thought not to reduce the population, to make them to be afraid, to realize that Lagos is not Nnewi, Lagos is not Aba, Lagos is not Enugu, Lagos is not Onitsha, Lagos is not Omahia, Lagos is not Owerri, or Port Harcourt, or Uyo, or Calabar, or Yoruba, or Asaba. That's the one they want the Igbos to realize. So they are working towards 2027 because they are not sure whether Biafra will go or not. You understand? Because most of the Westerners do not believe or think that one day Biafra will exist from Nigeria. They do not understand it. Do not understand that one day Biafra will exist out of Nigeria. So they are working in case if Biafra did not go and Peter will come out to contest, because it's obvious they have believed that 2027 Peter will come out again. And if Peter will come out, what have happened in bad governance in Nigeria now? We make Peter Obi, we make people to try Igbo man to see whether Igbo man can be able to revive Nigeria. And the Peter Obi is the only man now from so-called the southeast that is sellable to Nigerians. So this is what these people are working hard and say Igbo must surely go. Is it only Igbo, the tribe in Lagos State? Are they the only other tribes in Lagos State. Why should be Igbo to go? You see now that this thing has another tool, political tool, but to take Igbo success, Igbo are dominating to do what? To cover up, but it has a political undertone. So that what happened in 2023 will not happen in 2027. And the coming up, August, to demonstrate, Igbo should go. Now, the outcome of that demonstration or that protest will determine whether government of Lagos State has a hand in it underground or not. The outcome will determine whether the power in Aso Rock have a hand in it or not. Because they may say, leave them, don't allow them to go, don't embarrass them. But when it starts, they have a role to play underground and be covering or pretending as their hand is not in it. All these things is working for Tinubu 2027. It's working for APC cabinet 2027. So that Labour or any other political party will not take Lagos State away from the hand of APC or whatever party they will like that time to be their party. This is where they are heading to. Another side they are heading to.
So, in other words, now, do you not think the Lagos government know the person that is behind this Igbomustgo trend, the person that tweeted it on Twitter? Do you not think the APC or the Lagos government are not fully aware of this person?
Now, if they are not aware, okay, let me put it this way: they are not aware of the person who put it or who championing it. But if they want to get the person, they will get the person. This is government. If they want to get the person, they will get the person. And to go truly search out. If they fetch that person out, he may have connection with APC party. You may have connection. Neither is APC member or APC sympathizer. He may have hand in one way or the other in APC. This is what all these are happening. And if you watch, I may say all over the federation, it's only Lagos State are still working against the Igbos. Remember, in the time of Fashola, when he was governor of Lagos State, one day he woke up and take luxury, pack all the whole Igbos that he hand can lay, and carry them across Niger Bridge and dump them in Anambra. Immediately he crossed Niger Bridge, up he wake there, he dumped them, all of them over there, and motor reverse and come back. That's indirect way to tell Igbos, go. During 2015 election, when the campaign started, the then Oba of Lagos said any Igbo man who refuse to vote to the candidate of their own choice should be dumped inside lagoon. That's number one to tell Igbo, we don't need you, we don't need your vote. You can go. In this present government now, we see what is going on. In 2017, when North to call that Igbo should leave North and go as far as they want Biafra, they should go to their Biafra. How many months that thing lasts and they die down? They die down. But Lagos here refuse to die down. For how many years now? Refuse to die down. And tomorrow, you will tell me that Northern man is the most person that hated the Igbos. Tomorrow, you tell me that Northern man is the most person that hated Igbo. I know their fault towards Igbo. I know how the role they play towards Igbo. And I know the role the West are playing towards Igbo. Not the whole West, most Lagos State. I know the role they are playing towards Igbos. And if you watch, apart from Abuja, Lagos State is where Igbos have contributed so much, have developed so much, no matter what people are saying. No matter what they are saying. Go to Orile Igomu. Before, it was swamp. Igbos are building, going. I'm not saying Yoruba and other tribes are not there, but Igbos are the majority there. Go to Coca when going to relay. Plumbing market. Go there. It was people that develop it. And tomorrow, Igbo man is not good. Igbo man is bad. All these things have political undertone. Political undertone and the hatred on Igbos. But I thank God that God is seeing what is going on. If Igbo want to learn a lesson, let them learn a lesson. And the hunger of God is in this, as I have said before, to tell Igbo, go and develop their place. Igbo man, go and develop your place. Go and develop your place. Thank you.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has sent a stern warning to agitators and tribalists that are calling for Igbos to leave Lagos. Obasanjo is telling them that you will be the first person to leave Lagos if you want the Igbos to leave Lagos. Obasanjo said that we own this country together. There is no one that is more Nigerian than any other person. Obasanjo has called for Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba to come together to ensure that they fight the fight of unity rather than the fight of disunity, and is sending a straight warning to those that are carrying out this propaganda about the Igbos. This Igbophobia, he's saying it must stop. Now, Obasanjo is who he think he is. I don't know about you, but to me, Obasanjo sees himself as a nationalist. He sees himself as a patriotic Nigerian. He sees himself as the best president that this country has ever had. And I want to tell you that whatever he thinks he is, that is who he is. We are going to discuss that in the details. But first of all, let us look at this tribalism that has taken the center stage in recent time. Nigeria has never been one. Tribalism has been in this country since time immemorial, even before we got independence. So it didn't start today. But the level of tribalism we are experiencing now is worse than what we used to experience before. What we are experiencing now is politically motivated. Whatever tribal post you see on social media, especially X, know that that post is sponsored. Someone out there is pumping money to ensure that tribalism keep going on, to ensure that the people will remain disunited. And this thing took a center stage after the last election. The reason for this is because one man was mercilessly trashed in Lagos. His ego was bruised. All the empire he has built around himself as the kingmaker, as a political strategist, he was defeated in Lagos where he governed for 8 years. That was no mean feat. That took him by surprise, and he has vowed that he's going to deal with the person that beat him in Lagos. That is the reason why this tribalism is being fueled. The people you see on social media are working for one man to ensure that this tribalism keep going on. I want you to listen to David Hundeyo as he exposed the reason behind this tribalism. I'll be back.
The people who currently have control of Nigeria have no qualms whatsoever about deploying. You saw what they did last year. And when I say violence, I'm not just talking about violence on election day. I'm talking about even what they have been doing since the election. You have been noticing that someone is funding a campaign on social media to create a Rwanda 1994 type of situation between Yoruba and Igbo people. You've noticed that.
I've seen it.
Someone is funding it. Someone is pouring large amounts of money into a campaign to create hatred that does not exist.
It doesn't
and
exist.
that does not have any basis.
Exactly.
Somebody is investing a fuck ton of money into creating the circumstances for an ethnic war to happen, and the entire point of doing that is for his political goals. Because as far as this person is concerned, the reason why he did not win the election in 2023, even though he was able to pay money to INEC and get himself declared the winner, but the reason why he was beaten so convincingly in 2023, and everybody knows it, in his home state, or what he claims is his home state of Lagos, was humiliated. Like even the official results, he lost woefully to somebody from Anambra. And he has decided that therefore means that the Igbos are somehow encroaching on his political turf. And they need to be taught a lesson, they need to be beaten back. And the way to do that is to create enmity, to create hostility, animosity between both groups. So that for the first, bear in mind that Igbos and Yorubas have literally the distance between Idanre in Ondo State and Onitsha is about 150 kilometers. Can you ever think of any time in history where there has ever been any kind of armed clash between any Igbo and any Yoruba group? Has it ever happened anywhere? Even in modern Nigeria, has it ever
How
happened?
does I know of? None.
Even in modern Nigeria,
None.
where there have been pogroms like Hausa kill Igbo, has there ever happened in Igbo? It has not happened. We're not enemies.
Yeah.
This guy is trying to create that enmity where it doesn't
You
exist.
see, if
Yeah,
you watch
you've
the
heard-
role Obasanjo is playing, Obasanjo is a nationalist. No matter what happened, when nobody is perfect, nobody is good. Everybody have their own shortcomings. But when somebody is saying the truth or behaving in a way he's supposed to behave as a human being, acknowledge it. I, Dini Okokundem, acknowledge Obasanjo as a nationalist and an elderly statesman, as a father. You know, Obasanjo is trying to prove that he's a father to the nation. And if you watch, no matter Zik misbehave, you know the whole people that have lived Nigeria or have paraded themselves in the corridor of power, you will see that it's Obasanjo is the one that wearing the shoe of Zik, a true nationalist of Nigeria. Although Zik did his own in a very stupid way that is a failure. But Obasanjo is not a failure. Obasanjo is a successful man in Nigeria. Very successful. Nigeria favored Obasanjo. Therefore, Obasanjo want to favor Nigeria also by keeping Nigeria one. You will see, Obasanjo was among them who risked his life, who fought with his last drop of his blood to keep Nigeria one. Therefore, he will not be alive and see the same Nigeria. He take all the whole risk he took to keep one. So this interrogates in his presence. He may not be happy seeing it. And that is why you see him working hard, whether in a good way or in a bad way, to keep Nigeria one. And if you watch him, most of the time the Yorubas don't call him good name. The Yorubas look at him as a person who is not purely Yoruba, because his character is different from Yoruba. When they want to bring that the Yoruba ideology or the Yoruba tribalism, he always separate himself from it. And this is one of the things that made him to be a successful man in Nigeria. Now, if you watch in his second coming as leader in Nigeria, he brought Igbos closer to his government. He made Igbos to parade in the corridor of power, which made his government that time to be one of the best governments Nigeria ever produced from 1999 to 2007. His government was one of the best governments that Nigeria have ever got. The economy was booming. Nigeria was recognized internationally as one of the best nations in Africa. All our debts we own was cancelled because of his presence. And he was the first man in Nigeria to be head of state and come back again to be civilian president. And he was first man in Nigeria who, as a military man, who handed over power to civilian, and returned as a civilian, collect the power back from the military men. You have seen it. Okay, even if at all he's tribalist, he's not like others. Like Ahmadu Bello, who was so tribalist, Awolowo, who was so tribalist, even the current president, he wasn't so. And if you watch, generally in Igbo's character, Igbos are not tribalists. They are travelers. Everywhere is their home. Wherever they go, they develop it. You understand? And he wants that Igbo character. That's why he wants Igbos. They want to be in association with Igbos. I'm not saying that Igbos are the best people in Nigeria. In every tribe or in every race, you have bad people also. But instead of Igbo man to hurt outside person, he will hurt his own brother. Igbos like to associate with others. Igbos like to develop wherever they go. Igbos do in their investment. They don't ask you whether it's in their house or not in their house. How many Yorubas travel in Nigeria, unless they go to overseas, where things have done itself for them? I'm not saying every Yoruba. But those tribalist bigots of Yoruba doesn't go out. Watch them. Their traveling is only from Osun, from Ondo, from Ife, from Oyo, from Ekiti, from around the Yoruba villages. They only come to Lagos, dump themselves in Lagos, and be claiming Lagos. Watch all of them that say Igbo should go. Most of them are not Lagosians.